Hey guys, today we're going to learn about lobs and how to hit a good one. What I want you to focus on with a lob is not to be too tense, okay? If you're tense and your body moves as one, a shot like this is never going to work. It's not going to be very successful. What you need to think of is being loose and relaxed. A good drill to practice a relaxed wrist is just make a figure eight. Figure eight with your racket is going to help you stay nice and loose and allow that wrist movement to work the way it wants to work, okay? If you're very stiff, you won't be able to make that figure eight very easily. All right, you'll have to use your whole arm to make that shape, okay? If I exaggerate it, it looks like that. What I want you to focus now is that figure eight is going to allow that little loose wrist movement to work. So if I'm driving through a forehand, say my regular takeback's here, and I'm hitting through the ball, finishing over my shoulder, whatever, doesn't matter, right? However you hit your forehand, this is your normal shot, let's just pretend. Now what I want you to think about is to hit a lob, you're going to come under the ball slightly. So to be able to disguise the lob is kind of key. If you're giving your opponent a heads up, sending them an email saying, hey, this is the shot I'm going to play, they can tell from your body position what's coming next. So to disguise a lob, you need to line yourself up as if you were going to drive through the ball, but now your loose wrist, your loose and relaxed body is going to let your racket drop at the last second and then come over them, okay? Try and hit the ball over them. So same thing on the backhand. I'm not just flat driving through it, I'm coming under it, loose wrist, and I'm loosely trying to kind of control that ball with spin over their heads. That's the only way to be able to do it. If you're too tense, you'll overhit it. Stronger grip means more power, okay? So it's much harder to feel the ball. So I'll hit you two now. If I'm driving through my forehand, let's just say I'm hitting through the ball, nice and firm, okay? It's going fast, it's about a foot over the net. Now as I'm going for a lob, I'm doing the same exact thing with my racket to take it back, but you watch how that racket's gonna drop a little bit more underneath the ball. Okay, so that landed about half a meter just inside the baseline. So same thing on the back end. If I'm driving through it, all right, that's obviously not a lob. That's in the net. No good, right? So what I want you to try and focus on now is as I drop my hands, I can hit much higher, okay? Same thing. Much higher through the court, all right, just inside the baseline. So that's the idea. As I'm coming here, I'm nice and loose and relaxed. Practice that. And a great practice drill with this is as your opponent or your friend's volleying just in practice, try and hit one over them and they've just got to stand and reach. So whenever you pick that lob, can you reach it or not? All right? So that's going to allow you to see what's happening with the result of your lob. So you might give them volley, 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 mix it up, under it when you choose, see if they can touch it. The best time to lob is probably not when you're super close because there's not as much court to hit into. The ball's going to go much slower through the court. As you get pushed back, if I'm back here, maybe I can load and pretend I'm going to try and hit a winner, but now I just loosely guide it over their heads, okay? So you got more court, the ball will be traveling physically faster. Yeah, you got further to hit, but it's not going to give them that much time because it's going to sit up high from here if I hit it from a shorter position. So play around with those options, see what you can get away with. Samantha Soja's old coach used to coach me back in Australia, and what he would do is as he would be feeding me the balls, he'd be just reaching up, and if you can put it away, you'll know straight away, is it a good enough lob or not, okay? So practice being loose, and this works with a slice as well. If you're able to hit a nice little loose slice just over them, where it floats and then drops in, that's great. Don't give it too much hang time, because from there, what they're gonna be able to do is have enough time to get back and still be able to hurt you. So if they're a fast mover, you've got to be more perfect. Cross court's gonna be a little safer, because you've got a bit more court to hit into, but try and find their backhand side. So that way if you screw it up and you put it too short, they can't put you away as easily on the backhand side as they can on their forehand. And lastly, think about the conditions. Is it easier, question for you, to hit a lob into the wind or with the wind? Okay, you think about it. All right, did you get it right? Hitting a topspin lob into the wind is far easier than with the wind, okay? If you guys are trying to get a lob to come back down into the court, the wind's going to stop it. So a topspin lob with the wind is very, very difficult, and you've got to play it just right. So in that situation, maybe a better shot is like a passing shot or a low ball where they've got a volley up, okay? Just play around with the conditions.